Now welcome to another Road to Ahsoka video.
Aren't they paths?
Yes, they're both.
But paths sound more scenic.
And yeah, they do, don't they?
This is a path to Ahsoka.
Okay, well, welcome to another Path to Ahsoka video, where this time it's Kanan Jarrus, aka Caleb Doom, we'll be discussing, who will not be in the Ahsoka series most likely, but will probably be mentioned and is certainly there in spirit.
He has a huge influence on many members of the Ghost Crew, people who are going to be in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So we thought it was important to mention him and his contributions, as they could be noted, and we want you to know everything. Nothing will go over your head.
Exactly.
Alright, so Caleb Dune was born in 33 BBY. On one occasion, he actually attended a lecture at the Jedi Temple, a lecture held by one Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep.
He was talking about the Jedi Temple's central security station, learning about the Jedi recall symbol, during which he inadvertently gave Obi-Wan the idea to use the beacon to warn Jedi away, not just to recall them in.
I wonder where he would use that at.
Nobody knows.
No.
Then flash forward, during Order 66, Captain Gray and other members of the battalion that he was with started to fire on Depa Billaba, Doom's master, which Doom noticed as he was walking away with Clone Force 99, because yes, like Hera, he also got to be in the Bad Batch show.
Yeah, he was also in a comic book that told me a difference. Oh, okay.
There is comic book reference in here, stuff that Filoni didn't
Retcon?
retroactively destroy.
Yep.
Billaba told Doom to run as she was killed by the clones, and he fled. He did evade the clones all night. By sunrise, he reached an outlying public transport station. He spotted clones using a hollow image of him, giving the orders that he should be killed on sight. For several days, he evaded patrols, not sleeping out of fear of being caught in one spot too long.
So we're kind of meshing the comic with the...
Yes.
All right. Fair enough.
He was discovered by a dude named Casimir.
A dude?
Yeah. Who allowed him to, borrow the spare bunk in his spaceship. Casimir told him he had to lie, cheat, and steal to survive. Just before Doom intercepted the Jedi emergency signal that was recalling him to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
He pleaded to be taken to Coruscant, but he was refused. So when Casimir walked outside, Dune took the chance. He stole his ship and headed to Coruscant. While in hyperspace, he did receive the Obi-Wan Kenobi message instructing them to go into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
He escaped his way back to the planet Caller, where he, upon landing, was confronted by Casimir, who reluctantly took him back.
Yep, that's all from the Kanan comic series.
Yeah.
Except for the first part, which is...
from the Bad Batch.
Bad Batch just kind of inserted itself over.
Hey, it only got 2 lines of the Bad Batch, and now we're still in the comics. Dune actually severed his Padawan braid. He destroyed his Jedi comlink after uploading Kenobi's message into his holocron. He hid it in his lightsaber away. He put on different clothes. He took a blaster. He took a new name. That's when he became Kanan Jarrus. Together, he and Casimir pulled off many jobs in which Jarrus learned how to be a thief and a smuggler, disguising himself as a freighter pilot, a bounty hunter, a frontier ranger. He was drinking away his problems, attempting to woo university girls, and he kind of just drifted from planet to planet in order to avoid the Empire. And along the way, he actually was collecting spare lightsaber parts. Just hold on to them.
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. And eventually, moving into the book, he met up with the Twi'lek rebel operative, Hera Syndulla, during the Gorse conflict, and decided to join her crew.
Yep, that's in A New Dawn, the first book of the new canon.
Now we move into Rebels. By age 28, he was kind of like a leader amongst the crew. During an operation on Lothal's capital city, Kanan sensed the presence of 14-year-old Ezra Bridger. He witnessed Ezra use the Force unwittingly, and then Kanan ended up taking Ezra under his wing to teach him to control his powers. But due to Kanan's incomplete training, he didn't have confidence in his ability to train Ezra, as he was only a Padawan when Order 66 happened.
Yep, he was afraid.
He was afraid. Eventually we meet up with the Grand Inquisitor, who you all recall from Kenobi. It looks much different here.
No, I don't recall that being the same Grand Inquisitor.
Because the Grand Inquisitor was using the corpse of Luminaris Unduli to lure in Jedi survivors, and Kanan was forced to fight him. The Inquisitor proved more than a match for him and taunted him for being a poor student. Ezra could sense that Kanan was struggling to train him, or he didn't want to train him, so he gave him the option to say, hey, you don't need to keep training me. But Kanan explained he wanted to be the best teacher for Ezra, and that was his problem, and he recalled Master Yoda's words about doing or doing not. There was no try, and said he would do it. He's not going to try to teach, he will teach. and vowed to continue to train Ezra properly. Eventually, the two came upon a temple on Lothal. Inside, Kanan actually conferred with Yoda, even though Yoda's on Dagobah at this time.
He's alive and well, yeah.
About his insecurities as being a master to Ezra. Ezra got his Kyber crystal, and then Kanan helped him to build a lightsaber. Ezra built his own saber and provided him with some of those random spare parts he was picking up.
Yeah, Kanan
the Force was guiding him to.
Kanan and Yoda actually commune in a place that has a vague similarity to the World Between Worlds, interestingly enough.
Interesting. Later, there's a rematch between the Grand Inquisitor and Kanan. With Kanan now remembering his training, he confronted his fear, destroyed the Grand Inquisitor's lightsaber, forcing him to hang on the ledge of a platform. The Grand Inquisitor's last words were warning Kanan that there are things worse than death, before he let go and fell into a ship's exploding reactor and died.
Yeah, like failing Lord Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to death, oddly enough.
Well, then sometime later, Darth Vader attacked.
Yeah, that was
They actually
good
came
stuff.
into contact with Vader. Kanan and Ezra fought him, which Vader, of course, proved way more than a match for them.
I want to see the version where Vader forces Ezra to behead himself.
He was...
It's close. Not close enough, though.
Well, it's because the rebels did escape. They stole an Imperial shuttle to do so, but Vader staged the entire thing, hoping to track the rebels back to the base. To that end, he had actually ordered a homing beacon to be placed in the shuttle prior to the confrontation, knowing the rebels would have no option but to steal it and escape. He's playing 3D chess with them.
He is. He's doing some Thrawn-type maneuvering.
Yeah. Later, Kanan was then sent by Ahsoka to find clone Captain Rex. But Kanan doesn't like clones. He told Ezra about his experiences with Order 66. Rex trying to say how they removed their inhibitor chips and it's fine now, but those two had many arguments about the correct way of training Ezra to be a soldier. Ezra and Kanan did eventually return to the temple on Lothal to seek out Master Yoda because they needed to find a way to defeat the Empire. Due to their previous encounters there, they thought maybe we can talk to him again. When the pair arrived, they were accompanied by Ahsoka Tano, who was conducting her own investigation into the Sith Lord Darth Vader. Meditating in the temple, Kanan entered a vision in which he saw a Jedi Temple guard known as the Sentinel within a dojo. The Sentinel warned Kanan that Ezra would fall to the dark side of the Force and that he had to be eliminated. Kanan refused and engaged him in a duel, holding off the Sentinel and two other guards. By the end of the duel, Kanan refused to fight any further and admitted while he may not be able to protect Ezra forever, he would continue to do his best to train him. The Sentinel looked as if he was about to strike Kanan down, but instead knighted him and removed his mask to reveal the face of the Grand Inquisitor. Kanan asked what everything that had happened meant, and Sentinel said that Kanan was now a Jedi Knight, as he himself used to be. They left the temple together, Ezra and Kanan. Ezra revealed he spoke to Yoda, who told him he had to find Malachor.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting that this is where we learned about the Inquisitors once being Jedi.
Yeah. Temple guard.
He was a temple guard. He was a very prominent figure. But what's interesting is he said that Ezra would fall to the dark side.
And you almost did.
You almost did, but that could still be a true prediction.
Hmm.
Because before, Kanan was around to kind of stop that, but now Ezra's been on his own for how long? Could this prediction that was through the Force still be true, or was it all just a test for Kanan? Time will tell.
Probably a test for Kanan. I don't think Ezra's going to be dark side, but he ain't going to be quite right in the head. Something's going to be wrong with him.
Well, Ahsoka, Ezra, and Kanan went to Malachor to explore ruins of a Sith temple. They were attacked by 8th brother, 7th sister, and 5th brother. More Inquisitors. Ezra got...
With the sabercopters.
Yeah. Ezra got separated from the rest, and then eventually emerged from the temple with Maul, the one who 8th brother had been hunting, while the other two were hunting the Ghost crew. Maul was kind of a monster. First, he forced the Inquisitors to retreat, and then he ended up killing a couple of them.
Yeah, like all of them.
No, he only killed 2 of them. Third one, Kanan kind of took care of because he damaged the lightsaber, and then when he tried to saber-copter away, the lightsaber failed. It's the dangers of saber-coptering. So Maul was kind of ruthless, and he actually is the one who blinded Kanan. He struck at him with his lightsaber across the eyes and blinded Kanan, and then Kanan ended up putting on a temple guard helmet and used the Force as well as his other senses to kind of trick Maul in a way, because he trusted in the Force and he threw Maul off the pyramid. Maul didn't die or anything. He
no, he didn't die.
Just got pushed away for a while.
Falling doesn't kill Maul.
When Kanan reached the top of the pyramid where Ezra and Ahsoka were supposed to be, Ahsoka was fighting with Vader. Kanan and Ezra escaped, fortunately left Ahsoka to perish. That's how the story goes for now.
For now.
Back at their base, Kanan struggled with his blindness and eventually met a mysterious force being called the Bendu who taught him how to see through the force.
Yep.
A very interesting skill. After Sabine acquired the Darksaber, she refused to wield it, and Kanan believed she could. Sabine refused to accept the saber until Hera explained that the rebels needed the Mandalorians to help save Lothal, which is what made her agree to train with the Darksaber under the tutelage of Kanan and Ezra. In order for her to be motivated in her training, Hera convinced Kanan to let her wield the Darksaber so she could claim ownership of the weapon. And then there was the whole Mandalorian saga, which we covered in the Sabine video.
Yeah.
Later, back to Lothal, they were guided by a pack of Lothwolves. Yes, those are a thing now. Lothwolves. Big wolves.
What do you mean
Loth
a thing
wolves.
now? They were a thing all along.
Yeah. They were guided by Lothwolves into a mountain ledge in the southern hemisphere of Lothal. Kanan interacted with one of the wolves, which called him by his birth name, Doom. And he realized that the Lothwolves had a special connection to the Force and speculated that the Empire was doing something terrible to Lothal. He and Ezra pondered on where the Force could be leading them.
Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm.
To the world between worlds.
Not yet.
But soon. Well, no, Kanan never goes there, but yeah.
In one BBY, Hera was captured by Grand Admiral Thrawn. Kanan went to save her, and as they were escaping, they ended up on top of an Imperial fuel tower, waiting for the rebels to come pick them up. It was there that Hera finally admitted that she loved him, and they kissed, and then seeing the rebels escaping, an AT fired on the fuel tower, causing it to explode. Kanan ran towards the amassing flames and used the Force to keep them from engulfing them. Hera ran towards him, but he stopped her with the Force and pushed her onto the rebel ship, seconds before letting the blast consume him. His eyes were restored, granting his wish to see Hera one last time. Then he passed away and became one with the Force. Following his death, he did become a part of the Cosmic Force, manifesting as a huge Lothwolf named Doom.
Well, we don't know that was his name.
Which
He just
appeared
said Doom.
to Ezra several times. After Ezra saved Ahsoka from Darth Vader using the World Between Worlds, Ahsoka explained to Ezra that Kanan was still able to communicate to the living through the Force. Ezra wanted to use the World Between Worlds to save Kanan from his demise, but Ahsoka convinced him he could not because Kanan placed himself where he was needed the most. Pulling him out of that moment
breaks time
breaks
and space.
time. Because,
Paradox.
yeah, if you save him then,
You would have died.
you would have
Ezra
died. The
would've
fuel
died,
would
yeah.
have killed all of them,
Yeah.
which means Ezra could never actually go through the World Between Worlds and save Kanan because he would have been dead. Good explanation of a paradox, honestly.
That is...
It makes sense.
It's a classic paradox situation,
And
yes.
then later, Hera gave birth to their son, Jason.
Yep, that was
Yeah.
a surprise to be sure in the finale of Rebels.
It really was, because we're all like, who the hell's that kid?
Because we see them kiss once, and
That's how babies are made.
maybe, I don't know, maybe in Star
Oh.
Wars. Good thing Luke and Leia didn't kiss too much.
They're not an interspecies couple.
Well, so that's how interspecies couples
I don't know.
reproduce. They have to kiss.
I'm making stuff up again. I'm sorry.
I think they knew that.
Yeah. The next one's going to be Gara Zeb Aurelius.
Nice.
Zeb.
We've seen him again recently.
And we might see him again.
With his boy Callus. What do you think? Mutton chops.
Hot
Callus.
No, I don't think we need hot Callus. I think we can leave him out.
Really?
I don't think
Yeah,
you
I don't
bring.
think
You
we're- I
don't
don't think
want to
we're
bring
gonna
too many
see Callus.
characters in. Honestly, I don't think Zeb's going to
This
play
is
a
Dave
huge
Filoni,
part.
though. It's Dave Filoni.
I don't
You
even
bring
think
them all
Zeb will
back.
play a huge part. I think we'll see him, but I think
Zeb-
he's not going to.
Zeb won't play a huge part because he's too expensive to play a huge
Zeb is
part.
expensive. They'll be like, we're saving Zeb for season 2 once we've saved Ezra, so we can get them all together.
Yeah, we need to see Zeb and Ezra. Come
need
on,
to
those
see-
two were like
yes.
the big brother, little brother kind of dynamic.
That's how they
early
were.
on.
So we need to see those two together once they've saved Ezra.
Yes, absolutely.
Or they know where he is. Then they're like, okay, now Zeb can come.
Or Ezra has fallen to the dark side and he's evil and he kills Zeb. Calling it now.
How dare you?
I know.
All right, wrap it up.
Well, that's all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of the story of Kanan Jarrus. Did you like it? Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.